Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm back on again. Wanted to come back to you as promised. I came on a little bit earlier. I heard they've been reported to me, and I'll talk about it a little bit later. But I wanted to jump on here and talk about the truth about the Perry County Commission meeting that happened on March the 10th, 2026. But I wanted to get on here, wanted to have a conversation with you guys. I hope all is well. I hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, I am doing well myself. But I wanted to jump on here and come back on and have an open and honest conversation with you all. Again, as I sit here every day, just being committed to raising awareness, I just wanted to continue to thank the community for the work and the efforts that the community do, the things that they have done and what they're doing to continue to work together, speak up, and raise awareness and demand that things get done, that they're not waiting on things to get done anymore. And I'm very happy and excited about the community doing that. That is something that was not only that was something that was a goal, but my heart is say full from seeing that the efforts from the community, because at the end of the day, it's not about individuals. Never been about individuals. Always been about the community and the community doing things together. So that's what I wanted to say with that, and just get that out of the way. Because at the end of the day, the community is the one that's going to drive change. The community is the one that's responsible for the conditions it's in, but the community is the one that's going to drive change. And I'm just so ecstatic, and I wanted to take the time to shout out to the community. Why? Because when there's transition, when there's change, there will always be frustration and friction. I dealt with something similar to it. Just recently retiring out the military, they switched over to a new system as far as what they dealing with clothing sale, what they call not clothing sale, but central issue facilities. That's where you get all of your gear, and you have to turn your gear in. They switched over to a new system. The new system has new steps. The new system is better than the old system. But the frustration come in is everybody's used to the old system. So they find things to complain about with the new system, instead of taking time to see that the new system is actually better long term. It's just getting over the initial thing. And I know that I saw a post earlier, and I also understand this too. I don't expect me to be everybody's cup of tea. Never did. I'm not concerning myself with that. Not saying that to be disrespectful. I'm not going to waste any time, energy, and effort worrying about everybody may agree or disagree with me. But the thing I hope the community is seeing is, from the engagement from the community, from holding these elected officials accountable, we're starting to see things come to pass. We're starting to see things manifest. We're starting to see a lot of empty and vague promises that was made before, actually seeing those come to pass, actually seeing the results of them come to pass, because of the relentlessness and the commitment to hold elected officials accountable. And the reason why I want to continue to say that is, it is so imperative that we continue to do that. Why? Because once we do that, and not let up, we have to do that and not let up. We have to. The reason why I say we have to is because when we don't, then that allows these politicians to basically become rogue, because they get comfortable with, I can just kind of do whatever I want to do, because nobody's going to check me on it. Nobody's going to call me out on it. Nobody's going to hold me accountable to the words that I said, what I posted on social media, what I said at these meetings. Right? And I just want us to understand, and the biggest thing is educating people on things that matter. What you guys are going to be seeing soon is there's a lot of things that came from that meeting last night. and I'll be sharing some information. Thanks to Pamela Horn. She recorded the video yesterday. I've uploaded it. It's 2 parts of it. The one up to when they went into executive session and the small portion after they came out. It's up on the Educate to Elevate 334. As you see this shirt right here, it's on that YouTube channel, part 1 and part 2. So you can go check that out. But I'll be sharing a lot of points from that, and I want to have that conversation about that today. One thing, I went live about 2 hours earlier because information was provided to me that Albert had called the news station, and as people been saying and people been confirming, they've been seeing people there. They was up by First Baptist Church and getting ready to go down the road on Cedar Bluff Road, right? I'm glad that got done, right? But what is irritating to me is the political theater that's behind it. You know, originally, like I said, that road was originally brought up and promised to be done back in September 19th of 2023, 875 days ago, right? And this morning, Albert had the audacity to come on my post and on the video I shared yesterday, and it was a reel that I shared yesterday, and it's just basically calling him out for his hypocrisy. He got upset and came on and basically was talking about I'm irrelevant. I don't care nothing about that. What I do want to speak on with him is he said that the fact is that a promise was made and a promise was kept. My thing is, why did it take you 874 days to do something that took less than 6 to 8 hours to complete? You know, this funny thing too is you keep talking about what people don't know. Albert, I done already showed you, my boy. I done already showed you that I'm pretty knowledgeable. I can find information. So why do you keep assuming that people don't know? The reason why you assume that people don't know is you've gotten accustomed to people not questioning you and people taking your word. But now the people don't trust you. The community don't trust you. People knew you was untrustworthy before, but they just tolerated you because they felt they had to deal with you. You see the difference? They tolerated you because they felt that they had to deal with you because of how you set things up. You set things up as if you are the guy, but really you are just a evil, just a low down, nasty politician who does things for your own ill-gotten gain and don't give a crap about the community. That's what you do as an elected official. Y'all, you see that difference? And the thing you can't stand the most is the fact that the community is talking about how the community held you accountable and Cedar Bluff Road got done. The community is talking about how the community held you accountable and those lights got put up at Francis Mary after 565 days. Everybody is talking. You're upset because the community is talking about how you are jumping and how you've been reacting to the accountability that you've been held accountable for. The community is talking. And you don't like that. You know why? Because you're used to controlling the narrative. And you like to spin the narrative as if you are the one that are making everything popping. And the community sees it. And they see through your tactics. And as a spoiled child, what it is that's what you're doing right now. Like, man, Albert, ain't you, you know what's funny? Why didn't you call the news article for the Barnett King Center? You didn't call the news, you called the news station for Barnett King Center. You didn't call the news station for the jail. Now you didn't call the news station for Cedar Bluff Road. Why you ain't called the news station when the fire marshal recommended y'all shut the jail down? Why you ain't called the news stations for the audit that y'all did, the compliance audit, not the financial audit that they did, and y'all had 9 non-compliances? You see what I'm saying? And speaking of that, it's been reported to me, Albert, that you got caught speeding by a state trooper in the county vehicle the other day. And when you got pulled over, you tried to tell the state trooper, I'm Chairman Turner, Albert Turner. Man, them folks don't care about that. Who you think, like, who do you think you are? You speeding in the county vehicle. The state trooper pulled you over, and then you had the audacity to try to tell somebody that who you are. Albert, don't nobody care who you are. The only people that care who you are is the people that's sitting there with their hands out and you promise them something or you holding something over their head. Those are the only people that care. When I tell you, don't nobody give a crap about what you think or who you think you are. You are a wannabe that would never be. You're somebody who never earned anything on their own and just been manipulative the whole time. But I'm just telling you just exactly who you are. You got to use other people's names, take pictures with other folks to post it so that you can feel like you're relevant. See, the thing is, when other people are sure of themselves, they can stand on their own 2 feet. I don't need to take pictures with people to try to post and try to convince everybody that I know people, I'm connected with people. I don't need that. I don't need political office to engage the community, to educate the community, to inform the community, to raise awareness in community, to invest into the youth in the community, to support these local organizations as far as that are giving back to these kids. See, I don't have to be elected to office to do that. Albert, I don't have to spend the people's money to do that or even be connected with somebody else's money to do that. I can do that on my own because I actually went out there and earned it. That's the difference. And I know it's hard for you to understand, my boy. I know that's hard for you to understand. But I want you to realize it, right? When you get it out the mud on your own and you can stand on your own 2 feet because you actually earned it, you ain't got to worry about somebody else coming in. You ain't got to worry about having friends as judges and having friends as senators and try to do all of this stuff. You don't have to do that. You know why? Because it will get done on its own. And that's a sad thing. It's really sad. But the thing about it is that is bringing joy to my heart is the community sees it. The community sees it. So no matter how you try to spin it, no matter who else you try to use, no matter what's going on, the reality is this, my boy. The accountability is here to stay. And you can't stand the pressure of it. You can't. Albert, you know what's so funny? I just want you to understand this. If I'm so irrelevant, why are you responding back to things I talk about on the live or things that I post on my page, on your commissioner page? If I'm so irrelevant, why you stop posting the same way you used to post? I'm going to sip something to drink on that one. Albert, if I'm so irrelevant, then why are you reacting to things after I call things out? If I'm so irrelevant, Albert, if I'm so irrelevant, then why do you seem to be shaking in your boots when I'm standing in your presence? Albert, I'm so irrelevant. Why you ignored me when I spoke to you in your office, when I said, how you doing, Chairman? And I knew you heard me. If I'm so irrelevant, then why are you going to act like you're going to ignore me? See, that's childlike behavior for a 62-year-old. See, you got an issue with me. I don't have an issue with you. I have an issue with your actions and your behaviors as an elected official, which is shady at best. You just don't like the fact that accountability is here. You don't like the fact that you finally have to deal with a man. See, Albert, Albert, you got a history, my boy. You got a history of talking tough to women. And you got a history of even fighting women, putting your hands on them. You know, I can pull up the article that was published in Tuscaloosa News when you had a physical altercation with Miss Vonnie Royster back in the day. You got a long history of being violent towards people that oppose you, where you hit that guy with your car. See, that's your history. That's your well-documented history. That's your documented history. But when it comes to you standing face to face with somebody and have to be a man of your word and have to stand on your word, you a coward. And I'm calling you that to your face. You know why? Because, Albert, when you are presented with your words back to you, you know what you do? You deflect. You say it was other people. Or you say that the other people you try to say that they mental and all this stuff. You play all of them little political games instead of you being an adult and say, hey, I lied, I'm wrong, and I misspoken. See, the thing I want you to understand with this, right, I'm speaking as a man, as a grown man. As a grown man. That's who I'm speaking as. I'm not speaking to a cowardly little boy who got to hide behind all of these things, who throw rocks and hide their hands. See, I'm speaking to you as a grown man that can have conversations, that can disagree, that can listen, that can agree, that can compromise, that's not afraid or scared to say that I was wrong, that seeks correction, that will come back and say I was wrong and I misspoken. You know why, Albert? Because I walk with integrity. I don't have an ego or pride. Despite what somebody else say. Because one thing I don't give a crap about, if you don't know me, I ain't worried about what you think about me. You don't know me. And I don't have to give you access to me. But Albert, you had the audacity to say that I couldn't even get a meeting with the chairman. What I need to meet with you for? What do I, Robert Lovejoy Shepherd, need to meet with you for? You ain't no gatekeeper. You not my commissioner. My commissioner is Carlton Lewis. I can reach out to him and have a meeting with him. What I got to meet with you for? See that overinflated sense of self? That grandiose, that's a megalomaniac. That's a narcissist move. That's all that is. And you feel like you just as important. You not. Listen, Albert, it's a darn shame. It's a darn shame that somebody who just officially retired from the military yesterday got you jumping and scared in your boots. Got you jumping and scared in your boots. It's a darn shame. No matter who you call, no matter what. It's a shame. Albert, why people, and I want the people to understand that this is all public information. I just want to have a good conversation with my boy Albert, who said that he said before, I'm not important enough. I'm not important enough, or I'm irrelevant. So Albert, tell me this. As I'm looking at your campaign contributions, it's the same folks donating money over and over. Why ain't people donating to your campaign compared with like they was before? Huh, Albert? Albert, I'm just waiting to see. And Bobby singing it too. I'm waiting to see, Bobby. I seen you found somebody else to pay them for a political consultant and not Emerson Company this last month. And y'all know I'm going to show receipts. But according to Bobby Singleton, February campaign contributions, Bobby Singleton paid Smart LLC $2,500 for political consultant. Now, all the other time, he paid Emerson Company. Why you ain't doing that now? Now, the money that you paid to Smart LLC, which is a legit LLC, and I saw their address go to a trailer over there in Montgomery, Alabama, Bobby. But then I would tell you this, that's the same amount you paid them. It's the same amount that somebody contributed to Albert Turner campaign. And that same person contributed money the month prior. It's a different name. Is that how y'all trying to hide the money that's coming so people can't see it? That I exposed that you done gave $125,000 from 2018 to 2025 to Emerson Company that belonged to Albert. Then I also showed that you done gave about $30,000 more to the Perry County Civic League. Y'all see what I'm saying? Y'all trying to switch it up right now because people watching? You still think people can't figure out something else? Y'all got to do better than that, man. Y'all got to do better than that. That's what y'all trying to do right now? Because what it is, the Finance Committee, Secretary of State. Yeah, listen, I'm telling y'all. Look, if y'all don't think that man's scared, I'm going to tell y'all what happened last night. I'm going to keep talking. This is more of a recap on the county commission meeting last night, which is another clown show. And the reason why it was a clown show is because Abbott is still dragging his feet trying to keep Beverly Gordon hired and trying to do some shenanigans. But I'm going to show y'all, and I'm going to talk through some other stuff so y'all can see just how deceitful and how evil this man is, and how he always work against the will of the people of Perry County to do what he wants. But I'm getting back I'm back to you, my boy. I'm back to you. Right? And this is the thing. The thing that I'm talking about is, Albert, you know for a fact that you scared. Let me tell y'all how Albert's scared. Last night, during the meeting, I'm going to clip it up, and I will show you guys. During the meeting last night, y'all know, the people that's been watching me, that's been following me, y'all know for the last month, especially about a month ago, I was back. I did a live from Marion, Alabama. I did a live from the Perry County Courthouse. And during that live, I talked about the Alabama Open Records Act and how to request records. And right after that, I went to Chairman Turner's office. I went to the office of the chairman. And I went in and I personally requested what is the requirements or what is the process to request records. They then sent me down there to the county clerk office. I asked her, Beverly Gordon. She then told me that I need to go down to the commission. I said, nope. I just left them down there. She called them on the phone. Then Albert tried to tell me that the Freedom of Information Act, and I told him that doesn't pertain to the state. Right? And we went on with that. But I want y'all to understand this. I've been talking about this, that, hey, I'm requesting records for the COVID money. Do y'all know what this man did last night? Look. During the commission meeting last night, Albert said this, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said this. He said they had a report. I want y'all to listen to this. He said they had a report that they had to fill out, an expenditure report for money they got for COVID. And they just did the report, but they needed the commission to vote on it or pass a resolution or something so that they can submit that report up. Now, COVID money came in 2021 through 2023. Why in 2026 you just closing out an expenditure report for COVID? And then shout out to Commissioner Brent Harrison asking, was like, well, what do we spend the money on? Oh, we spend the money on all the stuff at the courthouse, PPE, and all that. We spend money. I just need y'all to vote. I need y'all. No, what it is, you know I'm coming for them records, my boy. And you know that COVID money is federal money. We don't want no goddamn Microsoft Word typed up document or a document from Excel. We want to see invoices. We want to see receipts. And if I'm the commissioner, y'all don't need to vote nothing. Don't vote on nothing unless y'all see receipts for every single thing on there. Because that man's scared because he know he ain't do right by that money. And he's scared because he knows COVID money is federal money. So the local judge can't help you. Bobby Singleton can't help you. They can't help you, my boy. That's what you scared of. That right there is what you scared of. See, you did all of that big talking. I ain't scared of no, my daddy told me that's them people money. Don't you put your hands on them people money. And I ain't scared of no investigation. There's been Democrats and Democrats that then came. You got to have evidence. I ain't scared. Well, why you backtracking on COVID reports in 2026 and COVID been over? Why you scared, my boy? Why you can't stand on on your own 2 feet? See, if he was above board, why is he trying to talk about a COVID report in March 2026? Y'all know why? Because if you go to his page, I want y'all to understand this. If you go to Albert's page, it was posted back in 2020. I think it's 2023 or 2021, between that, but it was an expenditure report. I did a report on it. I got a copy of it. I'm going to reshare it. On that expenditure report, he had a list of all the stuff that he itemized list of what he done earmarked and spent money on. Do y'all know for that same COVID expenditure report for the $1.73 million that they received, they got $1,730,000 from the state of Alabama for COVID money. Then they got an additional $200,000 to do COVID units at the Perry County Jail, right? So that was a total of $1,930,000 the county received with COVID funding. Do y'all know $134,000 of that was earmarked to the Barnett King Center? What happened to that money? See, Albert, all of this stuff you did before was just coming out, and I'm going to tell you where it looks shaky at, right? I'm going to tell you where it looks shaky at. Oh, they didn't vote on it. They didn't vote on it. They did not vote on the commission did not vote on it. They tabled it. They didn't vote on it. And I'm glad they didn't. And Albert tried to be slick and try to work that out. We got a report, and and then he had Beverly Gordon talking last night. She talked about how they went back and they repaired, they corrected some back taxes, and they paid that up. It was like $160,000 in back taxes. And then he said that was an error. Oh, no, that was an omission in 2022. Albert, you was the chairman. So why you not paying the taxes, my boy? You know who else ain't been paying taxes? The city of Marion. You've been the commission. You've been the chairman since 2020. Why y'all weren't paying taxes before? And you try to talk about, oh, it's the administrator and we ain't had this. All these goddamn excuses. And it's a failure of your leadership. I get what you're trying to do, man. Them games, I'm telling you, people see it. I'm letting the world know your done games. They did not vote to dismiss the clerk last night. And I was upset about that. But I thought about something. This Albert, and I'm going to keep talking about it, but Albert is continually, I'm going to tell y'all, he thinks he is slickster. He continually trying to kick the can down the road. He's trying to kick the can down the road. And this is the thing. Here's the deal. Albert is trying to kick the can down the road. The reality is, right now, Beverly Gordon is not a contracted employee. Her contract expired, I think it was in November the 12th, right? Albert is trying to argue that she has to finish her probationary period before she can be terminated. Everybody that hear that knows that any probationary employee can be terminated at any time. This is his own personal thing to go against the will of the commission, which is the people. She did something to undermine everything that the commission voted on. All because Albert wanted her to do it. All because, if y'all go back, and it was back in January, Albert tried to influence the commission not to pass the resolution to move the voting location from the old National Guard to the new National Guard. Albert said in that meeting, I think it was it was in January, but I got it on my page. You can hear from his mouth. Albert said that he's gonna I'ma ask that you not pass this. But even if you do, it'll never see the light of day in Montgomery. And I can assure you of that. That's what he said out of his mouth. So they went on and voted. Barbara House voted with Albert, and Albert was the only two to vote to keep the voting location at the old National Guard. And that is one of the issues that I have with Miss House, is it was reported to me that she even said herself that conditions of the old National Guard, it was not fit for people to be in there. If those conditions for the old National Guard is not fit for people to be in there, then why would she vote with Albert Turner to have people to go in that same building to vote. That's my issue, man. But then, this what it is. Not only that, Albert, when they voted 3-2, Albert thought that he could delay them getting that resolution up to the state so that they could pass it so it could become law, because it has to be passed and signed so that they can make the change. So Albert tried to drag his foot with Prince Chestnut. So, probate judge, Hogue and the other commissioners went through Senator Stewart. They went directly to Senator Stewart, because typically it's supposed to go from the House to the Senate. But they went the Senate to the House. It was introduced by Representative Robert Stewart as Senate Bill 301 for 2026. Senate Bill 301 was passed from the Senate to the House. That's when we put pressure on Prince Chestnut to sign it. Prince Chestnut signed it. And on the 26th of February, it was received by the office of the governor. Now, I believe Albert contacted Bobby to try to get Governor, allegedly, Albert contacted Bobby to try to get Governor, Ivan not to sign the law. But what Albert don't know is that while the Senate, the state Senate and House are in session, if it goes 6 days, 10 days, if it goes if it goes 10 days and it's not signed or it is not vetoed, it automatically becomes law. So guess what happened on March the 6th? Senate Bill 301 became law. So the resolution to vote in the resolution to vote at the new National Guard Army is signed into law. That is the reason why yesterday I said I was going to post Governor Kay Ivey's information. That is the reason why I didn't, is because I got confirmation that it's already in law, enacted as law. Now, I'm going to give y'all a background why Albert was doing that. In that news article where he was at the Barnett King Center, Albert mentioned that the phase 1 was going to be completed by March 19th. The reason why March 19th is significant is because Albert understands what the law said about the voting law. And the voting law said that any change to the state, any change to the voting, location has to be posted 60 days prior to the election. 60 days prior to the election is March 20th. Albert was trying to drag it out so that it wouldn't get signed, so that Judge Hogue wouldn't have time to post it and be inside of the 60-day window, which would make it go against what Alabama law said, so that he could get his way out of default. That is how manipulative, low down, nasty, and dirty he is. And that's the same crap he's been doing for 20 plus years. That is him working against the will of the people. The commission did in a majority of the vote 3-2. They had to go backwards just to get it in there so that they can get it up there. And they did that. And Albert still, to this day, was trying to undermine the will of the people in Perry County. And he wants y'all to keep Big Al working for you. For what? So he can have a done temper tantrum? So he can act like a toddler as a 62-year-old? So he can continue to undermine and go and go against government operations? And this is what I would say. Every last one of those, well, those that will, every last one of them commissioners need to file an ethics complaint against Albert for trying to undermine government operations. Because it's been reported to me that Abbott admitted that he told Beverly Gordon to call the newspaper to cut the ad because he knew that they had to advertise for 4 consecutive weeks. So in order to stop that and reset the clock, Abbott had her call the newspaper to tell them to not run the ad. And it took Vice Chairman Carlton Lewis to call them and tell the newspaper to keep the ad running 2 hours before the deadline. This is what Chairman Turner do. This is the BS that he's been doing for 25 plus years. And y'all see this. Even at the meeting last night, Perry County owed Hale County $32,000 for housing inmates. And this man is trying to pay them $15,000 because he said, I gotta give me something to drink on this. We ain't had a contractual obligation with Hale County. And, we can pay them $15,000. I know they bill 32, but we ain't got the money, and we ain't got no contract. Now, I will tell you this. If I'm another county, surrounding county, I wouldn't do not one thing for Perry County. Not one thing. You wouldn't get nothing from me, my boy. I wouldn't house you. I wouldn't help you. I don't care what you need. If they did the service, if they provided the service for $32,000, got done, pay them $32,000. Don't try to insult them, because the probate judge and Sheriff Hamilton came to the goddamn December meeting and they gave you the bill then. And you argued then about how you ain't want to do it. You know who else don't like to pay people their contracts and for services that they did for them? You know who famous for that, Albert? Do you know who you acting like, Albert? But I thought you said Perry County. You know what you said in your state of the... Perry County is blessed. We get about $100,000, $200,000 a month coming in from the landfill. Yeah. All of that BS, man. All of that BS. And you trying to undermine people. Do you just do what you always do? A low down dirty shame. A low down dirty shame. And you guys are correct. You guys are correct. In reference to Alabama is an at-will state. At-will, that means, you know, hey, you can fire at will. And that's not, and I would tell you this, right? I had to come. Let me show y'all what I got yesterday. Let me show y'all what your boy had to go pick up yesterday. That certificate of retirement. A certificate of retirement to Major Robert Shepard. So yeah, I had to come and pick that up yesterday. So that's why I wasn't at the meeting. But you best believe, if the Lord's willing, myself and the community is going to be at that meeting. That commission meeting that's coming up on the 24th of this month. Because the community was there deep last night. And I want the community to pack the house. You know why? And I'm also, listen, Albert Turner and Barbara Howes controls who get on the agenda. I'm going to let y'all know I'm going to request to be on the agenda for that. When I go do my request, I'm going to do my request. I'm going to record me requesting to be on there so y'all have the daytime group. So when they deny me, y'all know Albert Turner and Barbara Howes denied me from being on the agenda. But that still ain't going to stop me for going by what the rules say to request it. But then the community would know that you ain't allowed me to be on there. Now, since you said I couldn't get a meeting with you, then you turn around and deny me. What does that say about you, my boy? What does that say about you, Albert? What does that say? That say everything everybody already know about you. You're a coward. You a coward that try to act like a bully. What type of mess is that? Albert, I'm telling you right now, boy, you better get used to this accountability. You better get used to it. I ain't got nothing but time. Nothing but time. And I'm blessed to be in that position. And I'm coming for the accountability for the people of Perry County. Because guess what? Change just getting started. Change is just getting started. And this is a fair warning to all politicians out there. If you ain't doing your job, if you ain't doing things to move the community forward, accountability is coming your way. That ain't no threat. It's just we want people to do their jobs. Because if you don't do your job, you about to lose your job. If you don't do your job, you about to lose your job. If you don't do your job, you about to lose your job. Hey, you about to lose your job. Hey, accountability coming. Y'all see that, man. I want y'all to see just when you start talking about what real accountability looks like. I want y'all to think about this. Just sit down and think about this for a minute. I want y'all to think about this. A lot of people have been complaining and talking about a lot of stuff on social media for a while now, for a few years. And you haven't seen anybody kind of do anything. They just kind of blow it off. Now, all of a sudden, you have consistency with accountability, educating people on processes and what to do. Now, as soon as I've been started talking about requesting records, look at what is happening. You got a city that try to do a resolution to kind of hinder people from requesting records. Now you got Albert going back in the county commission meeting trying to throw some COVID expenditures in there, try to get that approved. What you doing that for, Albert? I thought you said the National Association of Counties gave you an A for financial management. Back in June, it was June or July 2025. They did an assessment, my boy, of you back in June or July of 2025. Let me get another swig. Then why did y'all miss them taxes from 2022? Then why did y'all miss to do the expenditure report for COVID money that y'all got in 2023? Why that, my boy? The math ain't mathing. And Albert, you said last night, you said it was from 2025. Then you came back and said it was 2024 and 2023, right? Oh, buddy, that says it's been reported to headquarters that some of the veterans have been unable to receive that they disabled veteran tag due to inaccurate information from a staff member. I hope that's not true, because I'm coming next week to get my disabled veteran tag. So if that is true, I'm just telling you, I'm gonna raise awareness on it. And listen, you know, agree or disagree, I will continue to advocate for what's best for the community. What's best for the community. And that's just what it is. See, a lot of people just aren't used to somebody genuinely wants things to be better. Look, I live back there. That's where my family's at. That's where I'm from. Why wouldn't I want something to be better? I'm just asking that question. Why wouldn't I? Why should I just be quiet about it? Like, I just want y'all to understand that. I just want people to understand that. And that's all that I'm talking. That's all that I'm sharing with people. I want people to understand that and look at that from that perspective, because that's where it's coming from. You know, a lot of people ask me, a few people ask me like, man, why are you doing what you're doing? Blah, blah, blah. First of all, I told y'all it's a divine assignment. Second of all, I love where I'm from. And people that know me, I'm talking about people that's not from home. People that's known me in the military, they know, man, look, the great state of Alabama. That's what it is. And out of everything, out of the 4+ months, almost 4.5 months now that I've been doing this, out of the 4.5 months I've been doing this, where have I lied at? Where have I lied? What have I lied about? I'm not asking you if you agree with what I'm doing. Where have I lied about? I'm not asking you if you like what I'm doing. Where have I lied about? See, I want everybody to really, really understand that. Because the more we remain silent and go with the status quo, the more we'll have the same issues that we continue to have as a community. And we got to speak up. Just let everybody know we got to keep speaking up. We got to not only speak up, but we got to show up. That's the action phase. We got to show up to those meetings, right? You got to show up to those meetings. We got to show up to the city council meetings. Pack the house in there. Let them folks, they work for us. They work for the community. And if you can't do the job, it's time for you to get up out of there. Look, I'm telling y'all, we got politicians, and the reason why, and I'm telling y'all right now, this is 100% facts. The reason why we have the conditions that we have right now in the Black Belt is because we have elected officials who've gotten comfortable going unchecked. We have people who have used the office for their own personal gain, giving people jobs because they friends or family, or people boo things and all this stuff, all of that crazy stuff, right? You got people that use their position to give people jobs so they can try to holler at them and all this stuff, right? Yeah. And Tim said that they have Channel 8 News and everything on the back road, on Cedar Bluff Road, showing the work. They doing it. Y'all gonna see a news, y'all gonna see it tonight. And when y'all see it tonight, it should make you sick. It should make you sick at the level where somebody will go to try to get credit for something that they ain't had nothing to do with. It's a darn shame. Get a credit to the people. Right? And I hope they go head on and they done went over and redid the parking lot over there at Hatch. Hope they redo all of that. And shout out to the Perry County Board of Education and the commission for voting to do that, because the commission voted to do that. Like yesterday they said, well, it took less than 8 hours for them to scrape that road up, that Cedar Bluff Road. They need to scrape that up. And Albert posted, when Albert posted them signs, he had them signs put up there after my post back in November. Y'all saw all of the posts that I made by Albert promising that Cedar Bluff Road was going to get done. Albert said the end of September, beginning of October, it was going to be done. Then he came back and said that Cedar Bluff Road was added to a list of approval. Then he came back after I made my post about it, to talk about political deception. Then he came back a few days later, had them put up the sign. Then he came back promising that, hey, December, if the weather permit, they'll do it, when he already know they typically don't do road repairs in December. That's why I came back in January, did the video, came back in February, did the video, came back in March, did the video, and he just did it today. He did it yesterday, where the road got repaired yesterday. That's all I'm saying. And not only that, though, is it something to celebrate? It is. But this is just the beginning. Lord, we got 30 goddamn plus years of neglect in Uniontown and in Perry County. So what you want, a cookie? You want a cookie? I'll bring you some cookies from Dollar Tree. I will bring you some cookies from the Dollar Tree. If cookies is what you want. Because that's what it seems like. You want cookies. You want me to celebrate you with cookies for you doing what you promised you were going to do 874 days ago. And then, look, think about this. Say we dating. And I promise you, I'm going to take you somewhere. I'm gonna take you to I'm gonna take you to Birmingham. I'm gonna take you to Birmingham. I'm gonna take you up there to that Brazilian barbecue spot, and we're gonna go on a nice date. And It's 2026 right now. But then in 2029, I finally take you. But then you pissed off. But I come to you like, I did promise you and I kept my promise. You're going to like, yeah, it took you goddamn 3 years to do it. So what you want me to do? Celebrate you right now? Shoot, I could have walked to Brazil and back 5 times since during that time that you supposed to take me up to Birmingham to it. That is what it looked like right now with Albert. And I'm going to tell y'all the thing that pissing him off the most is the community is talking about how accountability made him do something. That's what he mad about. I'm waiting to see what that man got to say. It's going to be hilarious, man. I know it's going to be hilarious. But Albert didn't want, Albert, look, and even, I'm telling y'all what that man did even last night. He didn't want to acknowledge Judge Hold to get up to speak during the meeting. But then Albert, when they said that they got the law and the law was already signed, Albert talking about he needed to have a hearing. Man, who the hell are you to think that you deserve a hearing? You just the chairman. You ain't got no more authority than the rest of the commissioners. What you need a hearing for? I ain't never heard of that, because that don't exist. I'll just tell people that, man. And Travis said, I never seen someone celebrating. Hey, I'm telling you right now, that road being paved is something to celebrate. I'm going to tell you why. Because it is representative of progress. When you have a community that have dealt with neglect for so long, it's just like a woman that's been in an abusive relationship, been in a battered relationship, and somebody come along and they give her a bag of chips and a drink and they smile. That means a lot more to her because she's been told she was nothing, been abused, been verbally abused, probably physically abused. So it may seem small and insignificant to others, but it's major to them. And the reason why I'm saying it's major to the city of Uniontown because it's representative of progress. It's representative of the start. And in order to walk 10,000 miles, you first have to take the first step. This is the first step, but we ain't done. We ain't done. There's so much more that these folks gonna do their goddamn job. They getting paid for it every month. They are going to do their jobs. And if they're not doing their jobs, we're going to take appropriate steps to get you out of there. We ain't got to just sit around and wait years. We can remove people. And if the community understands that, not if, when the community fully understands that, that's when we will see things accelerated. And Travis, I know who you were talking about. I know exactly who you were talking about. Albert ain't celebrating it. Albert is he's just trying to use something. He's just trying to use something. He's just trying to use something to try. This man, look, Albert is he ain't gonna say it. That man is under pressure. That man under pressure, man. That pressure is real. It's real. That accountability is something serious, man. Especially when you ain't used to it. So he trying to act like it ain't bothering him. I sleep well at night. No, no, man. You look like you ain't getting no sleep. You look like you ain't getting no sleep. Apple people ain't paying no attention to you. And that attention thing is something serious, man. It's something serious. And you know what, Albert? This is why I say it's divine. Albert, all the stuff that you care about, I don't care about. I don't care about no recognition or nothing because I would tell you, I'm only doing what God told me to do. And that's the God honest truth. And I will continue to do what God tell me to do. And not only is what I say doing what God tell me to do, right? I'm going to make sure that I continue to be obedient to what God tell me to do so that I can be in good standing with him on the things that I'm doing. I don't mind being transparent. I don't mind being vulnerable. I don't mind people disagreeing with me. I don't mind having adult conversations. But what's not going to happen is you think that you can talk to me in a type of way because I'm not going to come at you in a type of way. Right? I don't know why he's obsessed, Miss Billings. I don't know why he's obsessed with having people vote in that building. I don't know why. I don't think he'll ever openly admit that. But at the end of the day, they got the contract signed with the National Guard. The notice is going to be posted. That's where the people will be voting at the new National Guard. All right? I'm just telling you. And this goes to show a lot of people think that they could get away with a lot of stuff. And they maybe have for a few years. But one thing I wanted to say is the chicken's coming home to roost. The chickens are coming home to roost. And accountability is here to stay. And it ain't going nowhere. It ain't. So as a community, we need to continue to come together as a community. The next step is really doing these complaints, getting them in, showing people what it looks like. Because until we do that, then we'll still stay with the status quo. But once we start filing these complaints and people see that you serious and you ain't just talking, that's when you'll see a dynamic shift to whatever they try to say. You will see a dynamic shift. You will see people do things differently. You'll start to see people trying to cover up records and do all of this stuff because they know accountability coming. Now, the thing I want people to understand is if accountability is coming your way for what you do, you shouldn't have did the dirt in the first place because you knew it was wrong, but you felt you could get away with it. You felt you can get away with it. And if y'all don't think people in the community would steal from the community, would take from the community, would misappropriate in the community, only thing you got to look around the black belt. And we've been seeing all these news articles about people getting arrested and doing all this stuff for fraud and all this stuff. I'm telling you, it's about to come like a whirlwind in Perry County. Because there's a lot of people who've been recycled as elected officials who have compromised the integrity of the people of Perry County for their own personal gain. People have got bribed with trips, going to games, got bribed with money, all of this stuff. Just telling y'all, and it's time for the community to continue to come together and work together to drive change. I just wanted to make sure that I hit on that y'all understand that Senate Bill 301 is in law. Abbott was still trying to block it. He was trying to block it. Same thing, he's been protecting Beverly Gordon when he's the one that instructed her to go against the will of the people. He's trying to cover his tail with that COVID money because he's scared about those records requests. There's also, and y'all can see that this man doesn't respect the rule of law. He just wants things to do what he want to do. But the reality is that ain't how that fly. So man, I pray you guys have a great and blessed day. And I will, if I lied, please share information with me about that so that I can look at that, and I will gladly come back on and be as loud as I was. Go and check out Educate to Elevate 334. I uploaded like 10 videos yesterday on that, so make sure you guys go and you check that out. Go and subscribe to that. There's more and more content that will be placed on there, and it's all done as a repository from content that's on here, that because lives go out in 30 days. But let people know that let's stay engaged. It's time to take it to the next level. Information will be coming out when we will be doing that organization, that day we'll be organizing. I will be requesting the courthouse this week, and more information to follow with that. And I'm going to be very transparent with that full process. So I will let the people know what that process is, so they can see it and we can educate and we can take things to the next level. You guys have a blessed and wonderful day today. God bless.